video, routine, bit, whatever. It has been recommended to me multiple times, and it's a little different. It's not really a video, it's just audio. So I'm just going to be looking at this, we're all going to just be looking at this picture. That's it. It's from someone, or it's by someone named Doug Stanhope. I don't think I've seen or heard his stuff before. It's not ringing a bell, but I've got several different things of his that have been recommended to me. And for whatever reason, I felt like I was in the mood for something like this. I hear it's kind of sad, but funny at the same time. It's called Farewell Mother. I guess it's about his mother. So, I'm going into this pretty blind for the most part. So I'm going to go ahead and press play.
But there is an afterlife. And if I can give you any hope in this show, I have definitive proof of an afterlife. I didn't get weird or go religious on you. I'm not saying there's a God. I don't know what the afterlife entails. But here's the proof. My mother killed herself in 2008. Don't worry, this is a fun story. It was the best death you could ever be part of. She was dying of emphysema at 63. Her brain was still with it, but she was drowning in her own fluids. She's being permanently waterboarded by 45 years of cool miles. She can't take it anymore. We knew it was gonna happen when she made the call. You can't do it. I'm like, all right, Ma, we'll do what we can. All right, Ma's gonna kill herself. I don't know what to do. That's okay. We know it's gonna happen, but when you say we're gonna do it, I'm not gonna go buy you a fucking shotgun. Have fun, Ma. So I don't know what to do. I don't kill people.
Right.
It's just, it's not something,
Lord.
I fantasize about it. If my mother were Nancy Grace, I'd have been all over it. I have plans, but my mother was a great person. So how do we do this right? So I called my lawyer. I have 3 lawyers. We're Jewed up big with lawyers in LA for this shit, all the camera people and recording contracts. Then I have my local Bisbee attorney that helps me with, I got married when I was 20 and I had 24 years of marital bliss till I remembered, oh fuck, I never divorced that girl I drunkenly married in Vegas. That's for another DVD. But then we have our 3rd lawyer who's a comedy fan. He's our wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad attorney.
Oh, that type. Okay.
He handles all the creepy shit. When me and Andy are up late at night doing blow and thinking of call Kirshner, see how much jail time could we go to prison if we actually did this? He's that guy. So I called him knowing he'd hook me up with a doctor on the down low, as we say in the black community as a black person. He gave me the number to a doctor, and I go, hey, my mother's gonna cash out and I don't know what to do. He said, what do you have? I go, I got Xanax out the ass. On the border, you can get all the fucking Xanax you want. He's like, that's no good, that's anti-anxiety. Does she have hospice care? Yeah, she does. Then she should have morphine. Ma, you got morphine? Yeah, I got morphine. All right, she's got morphine. We worked out the dosages and the milligrams, and he goes, if she has 30 of those, that's enough to kill any human being on the planet. She had fucking 90. I'm like, okay, we're good. Okay, right. We never talked, remember that. Okay, doc. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this. First of all, bring her to my house, because she lived in 300 square feet of hoarder paradise, old electric bills with spider webs, all cramped. It's depressing enough if you're gonna help your mother kill herself, but we're gonna go to my house, we'll tidy up. So we set her up with a hospital bed in the living room.
Tidy up.
She had been AA off and on for my whole life. She had, at this point, been 4 years sober. And I'm like, you're not gonna kill yourself sober, right? You can't take those chips with you. She's like, yeah, you're right. Why would I do that? That's dumb. So in her heyday, she was a black Russian drinker. So I set out a mini bottle of Kettle One and a mini bottle of Kahlua with her pills for whenever you're ready, let me know. We laid down ground rules. I said, Ma, if you're gonna kill yourself seriously, you can't do it on Sunday or Monday, because that's football. And that's a dick move. If you can call your own time to leave this planet, don't do it during someone else's planned event. Don't be an asshole.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
And she did it the Saturday before football. That was great. She came in on Thursday, Saturday night. She goes, it's time. And I'm like, time for what? Like medication? No, it's time. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this is real. So I wake up, bingo, like it's going on. We start mixing up White Russians. She decided to make Black Russians White Russians because she thought the milk would coat her belly better for taking all the pills. Like mother till the end. Do you have whole milk? I got skim. Skim will work. I just don't want to throw up the pills. Chicken soup for the suicide. You're so sweet. So we're whipping up drinks, and I didn't so much assist the suicide as bar back it. Like I'm in there mixing drinks because we're all drinking. We watched Bad Santa together, our favorite movie together. She had a very dark sense of humor. I didn't come from nowhere. My mother used to review porn on the Man Show. She was fucking dark like us. So we watched Bad Santa, and she's trying to choke down these pills. She had a very hard time taking pills. So she just gagging and just getting them down. So I'm keeping a vague count. When she got around 30, little over, I'm like, Ma, that's good. You don't need to do any more. You're fine. And she said, I don't want to take any chances. She's so scared of fucking up. She took all 90. No, we're sitting there in horror going, you're wasting. Ma,
Wasting the pill.
they said 30 of those would kill any human being alive. You could leave 60 of them for me and Bingo as our only inheritance, other than the last 17-year-old blind cat you have, Georgia. Yeah, we're gonna have 60 morphines to have spontaneous memorials for Mother every here and again. Remember, Mom? Papa morphine. Woo! What a great lady. What a crazy old bitch. No, hoarder till the end, all fucking 90. And then we fucked with her. Hard. I remember her last words as she's coming in and out, because we're just goofing on her as she's doing this, as she's fading in and out. I didn't even know if she'd respond. She was just hammering cocktails. And she's laying there, half in, half out, with a White Russian on her chest that she'd occasionally get to her mouth and it'd spill. You know when you come off the wagon, you hit it fucking hard. And it's pretty bad when you're trying to keep up drinking with an 83-pound, 63-year-old woman. And I go, wow, you're really knocking those back, Ma. And she goes, there's times to be dainty and there's times to be a pig. And we all laugh. And this is what Mother's problem throughout her life. She was a funny lady sporadically, but when she would get a laugh, she would just hammer it and over-tag it and repeat the joke. Like, I can keep getting a laugh off the same joke, and it would ruin the joke. And when we all laughed that there's times to be a pig, I saw her go into, and I go, shut your fucking mouth. Those are perfect last words. You're not gonna ruin this joke. Cut the mic on Mother. And then we just roasted her as she fell in and out. We just did a Friars Club roast, making fun of her and making it a fun, dark suicide. Ma, wait, they found a cure. I love you. Fuck you. I was a bad mother. I love you.
Oh my goodness.
At one point, I remember I said, Ma, if there's any kind of white light situation, that other side that you get to, if you can communicate with us Houdini style, see if there's any way that you can make the Saints cover 8 points at Oakland tomorrow. Because I have money on the game.
Oh, no.
And they did. The Saints fucking blew them out. October 12, 2008. The Saints won 34-3. I'm not saying that's proof of an afterlife.
Oh, okay.
That was just $40 that I won. Proof of the afterlife is this.
Okay.
If there were no afterlife, how could my mother have bought me and my friends so many nice things from the Sky Mall catalog on her credit card 4 days after she'd passed from this earth. Answer me that, Your Honor. Answer me that. In fact, I'd like to enter these credit card receipts into evidence against the advice of my attorney. Look at that. 4 days. I had to swear on your Bible just to testify in my own defense. Your silly fake Jesus only lasted 3 days before he ran out of that cave like a pussy. My mother, 4 days, relaxing up there. She's drunk eBaying like I do. That last piece of that story has special meaning to me because in my entire career, that's the only chunk of material I've ever had that had a statute of limitations before I could comfortably tell it on stage. 3 years statute for credit card fraud. Yeah. After that, fuck you.
Okay.
Mother didn't want some silly gravestone. That doesn't do anything. Mother wanted me to have a voice-activated remote control R2-D2 doll.
Oh. That's funny. Okay, how timely, R2-D2. As I just came off a binge of watching Star Wars with the nephews. We finished episode 3 tonight. It's all these like little connections that are coming in. I watched a trailer with Liam Neeson the very same day we started episode 1, I think it was. So that's funny. Anyway, okay, well, it's late as usual, early morning. And I'm feeling a little bit dopey, like, what's this thing about the credit cards? I'm like, wait, what? Is he for real? And I was like, did somebody steal her credit cards? And then, but right before he started to admit it, I was like, oh, wait, he did it. I'm a little slow, I'm telling you. But this was funny and sweet and sad at the same time. This was a strange combination of things because he's got some good last memories of his mother, and what an unusual death or an unusual way to go out. But at the same time, it doesn't really, I mean, it's sad that this happened to her and she couldn't take it anymore, and that was, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on up there? Huh? And that was, the only option that she felt she had, because it was just, she was living in torture. So it's tragic that this happened to her physically, that drove her to that point. But obviously you can understand she wanted to go out on her own terms. It's funny that her family, not funny in an odd way, but just funny, kind of humorous that her family, I don't remember who he said was there with them. Did he have a brother, sisters? What? It was not just him. He said we were roasting her. So it was more than one family member. And it's interesting, funny that they came together and supported what she was going to do, and they spent her last moments with her, celebrating, having fun, helping her do it. And it wasn't sad. I mean, I guess maybe it was, when it happened, or maybe they had already come to the realization or the acceptance of what she was going to do, and maybe they didn't like seeing her suffer so much. So maybe for them it was a relief too, to let her go, and to let her go on everybody. She left on her own terms, and her family helped her do it. It was on their terms, they assisted her. They were with her when it happened. They were having fun. And these are, sun interruption. These sound like good memories. If you're going to have final memories of someone on their death, their suicide, and you're assisting them with suicide, these sound like, in an odd sort of way, good, fond memories of something like this. I mean, maybe it's just the way he's telling it. I don't know if it was really as funny as that when it was happening. It sounds like maybe it was, just based on the way he describes her and the way he comes across himself. So, maybe it really was as rip roaring fun as he makes it out to be. And if anyone's going to go, you all, well, when you think about things like the end of life, suicide, or just dying, and it's terribly sad for most people because death is scary for most people, unless they're at the point where they feel like they can't take life anymore, like, his mother. And so most of the time, people view death as something awful, not something to be celebrated in general, unless, someone's really, really old. She wasn't very old, you guys. She was only in her 60s, her early 60s. That was not very old, not by today's standards. But it's interesting that he could take something that's typically viewed as tragic and sad and awful and depressing, and he could turn it into something that, in an odd sort of way, is hilarious and bonding. They bonded over this, and almost in a strange way, kind of uplifting. I mean, it's good when you get to that point in your life and you're ready for death and you embrace it, and your loved ones are not sitting around and crying and trying to stop you or whatever. I'm not that I'm advocating suicide. I'm just talking about his particular situation, because what an interesting story. I've never heard anything like this before. And I'm just still trying to process the whole thing, and I'm picturing it in my mind, what it was like and how unusual it is, but at the same time, how wonderful it is that those final memories that they had of her were so positive and entertaining. So anyway, I don't know if I'm making a lick of sense, you guys. As I said, it's early morning and I'm sleepy, but this was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. Something to think about. I don't think I'm going to forget something like this. I'm putting myself in his situation and wondering, is that how I would be able to handle something like that? I don't know. I kind of don't feel like I would be able to, but you never know unless you're in a position like that. And I hope that I'm not put in that position anytime soon, if ever. Anyway, okay. Well, these are the only thoughts that came to me as I was listening to it. I hope I remembered everything that occurred to me at the time. But okay, well, I think I'm going to wrap this one up and maybe move on to something else. We'll see. Later, guys.